Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Graphology Pod Show by Kapeel Gupta. Now, today's episode is truly special because for the very first time, we have six graphologists. Of course, that includes me, each with a unique niche coming together to discuss one fascinating truth that your handwriting is not just ink on paper, it's energy, emotion, and identity flowing through every stroke. And we are here to explore how graphology and graphotherapy can heal, empower, and transform life, be it emotional wellness, health, relationships, career, or self growth. So let's meet our incredible guests who are redefining what handwriting can do for human potential. So now, our first guest is someone whose work is actually incredible, I would say, right? Beautifully connects emotions and expression. Jayaji, the founder of Aram Mindshift Studio. She believes that every line we write carries a piece of our story. And when we shift our strokes consciously, we don't just change handwriting, we transform the way we feel, think, and live. Through signature and handwriting therapy, she helps people release emotional pain, rebuilds confidence, and express their truth, both on paper and in life. So let's welcome Jayaji. Hello, Jayaji. Welcome to the Graphology Pod Show. So you're not audible.
Hello, Kapilji. Good evening,
Thank
everyone, and hello, everybody, for listening to us. And thank you for this amazing time that you all are spending to listen to this life changing journey with all of us.
thank you, Jayaji, for coming to the show. And now
Thank you.
let me invite the next expert, Khyati ji. She's the founder of Letters Eco. She believes that when the mind finds harmony, the body naturally follows. Because mental wellness is the root and physical wellness is the fruit. So, through the science of graphotherapy and life skill coaching, she helps individuals decode their emotions and rewrite patterns that restore calm, clarity, and balance. So, let's welcome Khyati ji. Blessed
Hello,
evening, Khyati ji.
Kapilji. Blessed evening.
Hello.
Namaste. Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me here, and I'm really excited to be part of this community and part of this show. Thank you.
Thank you, Khyati ji. The pleasure is all ours. And now, next we have someone who empowers women to reconnect with themselves. Graphotherapist and coach Varsha ji. She believes we are what our mind believes in, and the pen is our most powerful tool to reprogram those beliefs. Through her work, she helps women rediscover self love, confidence, and creativity, bringing balance to their health and relationship by healing the connection with the self. So let's welcome Varshaji. Hello, Varshaji. Welcome to the
Hello,
show.
Kapilji. Blessed evening, everybody. And thank you for this amazing opportunity to share my experiences with this amazing audience. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
definitely. I'm sure the listeners will be very eager to listen to what you have to say today. So, joining us next is a true multi-dimensional wellness expert, Gayatri Balaji. With dual master's degree in business administration and child psychology, she's a certified health and fitness coach, transactional analyst, and graphotherapist. Gayatri helps people transform their lives by integrating handwriting science with holistic health, fitness, and emotional well being. And she believes in treating the whole person, mind, body, and the spirit. So let's welcome Gayatri ji.
Thank you,
Welcome,
Kapilji.
Gayatri ji.
Thank you, Kapilji. My heartfelt
I'm glad
gratitude to you for bringing me into
and we are
this podcast.
delighted to have you. Thank you,
Thank you
thank you,
for
and we are
seeing the
delighted to have you here.
Thank you so much
Please, please.
for seeing the value in the work I do and for opening the space like where voices and ideas can flow with so much clarity and warmth. A deep gratitude for everyone who's here, and it truly means a lot to be here. I hope today's conversation adds something gentle, meaningful, and useful to every one of our journeys, actually. Thank
Yeah,
you, Kapil.
definitely, definitely, definitely. And now let's move on to a final guest for today. She's someone whose mission is to help people unlock their true potential. Natasha Gupta. She's a certified life coach, handwriting analyst, and a graphotherapist who combines science and self discovery to help people break free from limitations and lead empowered lives. So let's welcome her because her programs, students, professionals, and organizations focus on building emotional intelligence, confidence, and communication through handwriting. So let's welcome Natasha ji. Thank
Thank
you,
you, Kapil
Natasha
ji.
ji.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm really obliged to be part of this community, and today I'm the guest. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Welcome, welcome. The pleasure is all mine. All the accomplished graphotherapists are here. And now, for those new to the show, I am your host Kapeel Gupta, a career coach, study abroad expert, and graphotherapist. My mission has always been to help people grow through clarity, awareness, and action. And of course, handwriting is one of the tools, I would say the most powerful tools I've ever used to help students, professionals, and individuals to rediscover their potential. So I'm sure as listeners, my podcast viewers, you'll be really intrigued, curious what all of us have to say. And I'm sure it will give you great insights, great learnings about this science. So let's begin, right? So let's begin with Natasha ji first, and and start with the very basics. That how does handwriting analysis actually help reveal a person's hidden strengths or limiting traits? Yeah, over to you, Natasha.
Okay, sir. So hidden strengths, as in we can get what is like the person could be creative, एंड उसकी आइडियोलॉजी क्या है, कुछ लोग लीडरशिप में होते हैं, एंड सबसे बड़ी अच्छी चीज है लोगों को पता ही नहीं होता कि वो कितना ज्यादा मतलब अच्छा सोचते हैं, द थिंकिंग पैटर्न. So these are the strengths, they are hidden strengths which we can see through graphotherapy, their handwriting analysis, and uh, about their limiting beliefs. Many people have fears, and they have self doubt and low self esteem, which they
Mhm.
don't know. बिकॉज हमें बचपन से जो सिखाया जाता है ना, स्कूल्स में कभी हमें ये नहीं बताया जाता कि आप टी का बार ऊपर करो या वाई का लेंथ कैसे करो. मतलब दे नेवर टेल अस, टीचर्स टेल अस राइटिंग अच्छी है या बुरी है. नोबडी एवर टेल्स अस कि ऐसा करो तो इससे ये होगा. तो बिकॉज उसके कारण मैंने इतने लोगों में देख लिया कि ये जो मतलब एक लो सेल्फ स्टीम है और ये जो मतलब सोशली कह सकते हैं ना प्रॉब्लम्स आती हैं या फिजिकल फ्रस्ट्रेशन आती है, इट इज इन सो मेनी पीपल वेरी कॉमन
Right,
ट्रेट्स.
right, right. Okay. So, you know, Jayaji, I've often seen you saying that your handwriting is your soul speaking through ink. Now, can you share how this idea came alive in your own practice, or let's say a client story?
That's a Indeed, a fantastic question, Kapilji. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity of not only sharing my own experience, but my client's experience as well. So, I would like to answer this in two parts. First, I would talk a little bit about my story, how I saw this life transformation happening for me. So, a couple of years back, when I started with the basics of graphology, and then step by step, I went into the progress of getting into the mastery. I will not shy away from saying this, Kapilji, that I had got this habit of procrastination, which I think today interchangeably people use it in many terms. Like कुछ भी छोटी सी चीज होती है, आप बहुत डिफरेंट एज ग्रुप्स में ये सुनेंगे कि मुझे प्रोक्रेस्टिनेशन होता है. While the spelling
Correct.
is something that people don't get it easily, but it's a, जैसे स्पेलिंग टफ है, वो हमारे लिए एक ट्रेड भी बहुत टफ है. एंड आई हैड दिस, आई विल एक्सेप्ट इट वेरी ओपनली, आई हैड दिस. And low self esteem, probably it was a fluctuating self esteem, I would say, that I used to always face in my life. And the kind of work culture and the environment and that everything that we are surrounded with, somewhere we always have this doubt on ourselves in spite of giving our best, that am I doing my 100%? But thanks to graphology, I would say, I feel that, those things which were there in the subconscious mind, that इस सिचुएशन में यार ये काम तो मुझे पसंद नहीं, मुझे नहीं करना, बाद में करते हैं, क्या ये पूरी तरीके से मुझसे चला गया? I would say nahi, but now I know what is procrastination, and now I know how to deal with it. मुझे ये पता है कि अगर ये काम मुझे करना पसंद नहीं है तो कैसे मुझे उसको पहले कर लेना है, so that the energy that my subconscious has, I can utilize it for doing something which I feel passion for. So procrastination is there, but I know how to deal with it now. Coming to
Wonderful.
fluctuating self-esteem, and I would say in the society that we are in, uh, the self-esteem is something that is always questionable for us, and it's very difficult at times to raise the bar when it comes to our self-esteem. But thanks to graphology, I would say the way I manage myself now, the way I take care of my family, the way I take care of my social life, and the way I have been able to build up the Aram Mindshift studio, it has definitely changed me as a person. And a short story of my client, which I thought that I would share with everybody in the forum and the people listening to us, was about this young man who had early divorce in his life. And I think divorce is something which is very, very serious. And nowadays, when we talk about it, people very casually say, हाँ आजकल तो सब जगह पर ये बहुत कॉमनली है. बट हम ये भूल जाते हैं कि उस टाइम पर जिसके साथ ये होता है, इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट फॉर दैट पर्सन टू
Right.
cope up with those situations, because you have to deal not only the personal stress that you have to also listen to so many people talking around you, not only in the society, let's not blame them, our internal people, our own people who are there, वो लोग बहुत blame में हो जाते हैं, and then there are questions being put. And I was blessed, I would say, to meet this person. And thanks to this science, this person was able to understand what were the concerns, probably I would say what were the traits that he had, because of which might be his relationship didn't work out really well, and what are the things that he has to work upon himself, and how to you know take care of the entire situation that he was dealing with. And this man is still working with
Beautiful.
me, with the science, with the graphology and the science that he is in. And I would soon share the further results that he has gained. And the good news is he has moved on, and he's planning to go ahead and get into a relationship again. And I think that's the best thing that
Beautiful.
one
Yeah,
can ever
wonderful.
get through graphology.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Jiaji, for making that difference in that person's life. So I'm sure even he's blessed to have you as a mentor, right? And coming to Khyati ji, you beautifully describe handwriting as the language of self healing, right? When we met, you were talking about a lot on this topic. So, could you explain how graphotherapy connects to mental wellness, scientifically and, of course, emotionally? What do you have to say about that?
Thank you for asking that question. That's the basis of graphotherapy and handwriting analysis. So, when we talk about handwriting, it's like your brain is instructing your hand to write in a way, right? That's why we all have different handwriting. Even if we are studying in the same school, students will have different handwriting styles. So everything that's there in your mind is coming on the paper in the form of the ink, right? So that is how your mind is instructing your hand. And through graphotherapy, what we are doing, we are reversing the process. Now we are instructing our hand to write in particular ways so that it sends signals to our brain and it changes something in our brain. And that something is known as neuroplasticity, and it's commonly used now. So we have neurons in our brains and there are neural pathways, so neurons are connected to each other. So writing is the easiest way of neuroplasticity, and to connect neurons in new ways or to strengthen neurons and neural pathways. And through handwriting analysis and through graphotherapy, when we do that thing, then there are some emotional changes in the person's life and there are some personality traits that the person feels, and that leads to changes not in their own lives but in the environment they are in, because it's not only they are who are suffering because of that particular mental illness or maybe emotional challenges, but the people around them, their friends, their family, they are also suffering from that. So when it comes to graphotherapy, uh, it is balancing their own lives, they're balancing their emotions and also balancing their lives with other people, their relationships, their relationship at work and at home as well. So all the aspects are covered when we talk about mental wellness.
Wow, interesting. And I'm just, curious. A little while ago, Jayaji mentioned about procrastination, right?
Yeah.
So, because each one of us have our journey in this world of graphology. So, if I may ask you, who agrees to or who were the procrastinators before they started this journey? Because I'm included in one. I used to be. Okay. And have we really won over that battle of procrastination?
Yes.
Even I used to say everyone, oh, whatever, whoever mentor I used to meet, that I'm so inconsistent, I need to work on that, how to do that. But I'm so blessed to learn the science, that now I very proudly say that yes, I am a very consistent person in whatever I do. But yes, so like now I would say that we have kind of understood the foundation of this science, right? That how handwriting mirrors our inner world. So now let's explore how it reflects our emotions and mental health, right? So let me go back to Jayaji for this. That many people don't realize their emotional blocks show up in their handwriting, right? So, what are some clear handwriting signs of emotional pain or let's say suppressed communication?
So Kapilji, like we know, I would say suppressed communication is something which is very common again nowadays, because we usually have been brought up with the thing कि ये अभी मत बोलो, ये अभी नहीं बताना होता है, ऐसे नहीं बात करते, ये publicly नहीं बोलनी होती हैं चीजें. So, and I would say this is not gender bias. I will be very open about this. It's not that females are only said that ऐसे मत बात करो या ये emotion मत share करो. I think this is with every gender, with every with every generation also, for that matter of fact. So the biggest thing that I learned was the about how these suppressed emotions not only impact your conscious mind, because आपका behavior भी वैसे ही impact होता है publicly, because you think thrice before you want to talk, and while we are thinking कि मुझे क्या बात करनी है, we might end up losing those chain of thoughts and we forget what we want to share, and in that we also end up going into self doubt. So there are certain alphabets which definitely tell us a lot about the person, like the letter L. like the letter E. Like there are certain ways of seeing the ink dots, there are pain dots, which tell us about how the person suppresses the emotion and how, not now, in the longer run, it impacts your health. And I would say very commonly nowadays people talk about, again, uh, जब हम थायराइड के बारे में बात करते हैं, if you have to go back 20 years, people used to worry about what thyroid is or what diabetes is. Nowadays, if thyroid, कोई बात नहीं बेटा, गोली खा लो, अपना डाइट करो, go for this, go for that. But we forget how these emotions since a childhood would be impacting the later age of the life, and which is
Very true.
impacting many generations. It's not only in elders, but it's there in middle-aged people, it's there in younger generation also. So for me, it is very important to not suppress your emotions. So whenever I get a handwriting sample, the first thing, apart from looking at the other traits, which are very important for the person to know, because people are inquisitive to know about their personality, I also look into these certain pointers for them.
Okay, that's really interesting. And if I may ask Gayatri ji if she wants to add something to this, that how does she manage when she's analyzing somebody's handwriting?
Kapilji, I do analyze handwritings. What I look for in the handwriting is basically I can see so many patterns in there. So it is pertaining to me as a health and fitness coach. I do see a lot of patterns which are reflected there. I can see the physical frustration that is coming up. So when somebody a client might come to me for weight loss, for example, so I can easily map the movement patterns, the eating patterns in the digital era nowadays. But then physical frustration is one thing which I see most common, Kapilji, in the patterns that is reflected in patterns which I see. So they are either physically or mostly mentally they are off there. So that is the kind of pattern that I see in their handwriting.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for saying that. And it's like my conceived notion that when we talk about emotions, mainly the first image that comes to my mind is of a female, that females are emotional beings. And if I go to Varsha ji for this, that you work closely with women and who juggle multiple responsibilities, and I'm sure hats off to females. They are usually we say people are humans are not uh, shouldn't do multitasking, but females are doing it all the time, right? And they are bearing multiple responsibilities. And so, how does handwriting help them restore that self connection and emotional balance in their daily life? So, what do you have to say on that?
Thank you, Kapilji, for this question. First of all, this is not at all related to, especially only for women. The point is, being there, done that, so I can feel that pain a woman is going through. But definitely, it is not limited to only females. So, because everybody in today's world is going through lots of roles. When we talk about women, a woman plays a different role, like at home also, only at home also she is playing different roles of being a mother, being a daughter, being a daughter-in-law, and at professional end she is playing different roles. So all these playing different roles, she somehow lost that connection with her own self, because in today's world women are not getting that time, that connection to their own self. And if I talk about my own experience, um, being there, I have worked with different modalities, but I truly believe and experienced that pen, nobody beats that. Pen has that power, to change your emotions, to change your how you feel about yourself. So everybody is talking about self-esteem, so if I talk about myself, before graphology and after graphology, there is a huge difference.
Mhm.
Self, prioritizing ourselves, self-love, हम बात करते हैं बट उसको एक्सपीरियंस करना किसने सिखाया? पेन ने, ग्राफोलॉजी ने, ग्राफोथेरेपी ने। So I would,
Right.
urge all women at least to feel that power, to experience that thing, जो उनके खुद के ही अपने हाथ में है. Just take that pen and write your own destiny. It's only in your hands. We all can do that.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful for saying that. Because even, I've stressed so many times in my counseling sessions as well that self care or self love is not being selfish, right? And we must, practice that. And many a times I've told my clients, when you wake up, do the first thing in the morning, because usually everybody is in the habit of going to the washroom just immediately after waking up. So everyone has a mirror there. So I always tell them to, look into that mirror, and the person you see, just give a big smile and say I love you, and do it every morning. This simple practice might look weird, but it helps in a big way in actually, you know getting yourself back on track and beginning the day on a beautiful note. And because we are talking about all this mental stress, inner conflict, so Khyati ji, you were saying something about that. So, what are some early handwriting indicators that we can see through handwriting that a person is under mental stress or having some inner conflict? Please.
Yes. So Jaya ji mentioned about resting dots. That's difficult for a normal person to identify. So I would give something that is more visible to people. So first is pressure of handwriting. So when people write, sometimes ink is more in some words or some letters, and sometimes ink is little less. So if your pressure is changing within a sentence or maybe within a word, then that shows that stress or that anxiety that you have. Secondly, we can see that if people are writing on a plain piece of sheet, then their writing is going from left to right. It is going downwards. It's not in straight line. The sentence won't come in the straight line, right?
Mhm.
So that is also an indicator. Thirdly, that I got to know from my own clients that a lot of people say that मेरी handwriting तो जल्दी बदलती रहती है, आप कैसे analyze करोगे? So that's an indicator. If you yourself are aware that your handwriting is changing, it needs awareness. Please take time for your own self. It is showing you on the paper, you can see that something is changing very frequently. So you need to understand what is the reason for that particular change. It will reflect in your emotions, in your relationships, in your work, and gradually it will reflect in your health as well, in your body, physical body as well. So we need to take care of these things.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that. It's really, I'm sure the conversation is now beginning to get back on track, right? And of course, it's getting interesting with each one of you. Uh, ans- so I'm actually intrigued. I'm get like learning more and more. Though I am a graphologist myself, but your experiences are really opening my mind. So I would say we have seen how emotions flow through our strokes, right? And but what about our physical energy, our health, our vitality, relationships? So let's explore how handwriting touches those areas too. So for that, I would like to go to Gayatri ji. You integrate graphology with health and transactional analysis. So how do these disciplines work together to create deep and lasting transformation?
Thank you for that beautiful question, Kapilji. Um, Let me put it this way. A client might come to me for weight loss, for example. Like we can map their eating and movement patterns, like as I told you earlier, but the why behind the behavior. So, and the subconscious, that is the subconscious, there is that refuses or resists change. So the results are often temporary when they do all these activities. So let me tell you what I personally discovered. And this changed everything for me as a health coach. Basically, as a transaction analyst, what I see is there are three voices inside everyone. So there is that one voice, let's call it the adult self, that says, I need to be healthy, I need to exercise, I need to take care of my body. This voice has complete logic. So it has wisdom, it knows what is right. So there's another voice inside you which says, your inner child, that says, I'm tired, I deserve this pizza today. So I've had a hard day. I'll start tomorrow. This voice always seeks comfort, instant gratification. And there's this third voice, which is the critical parent, that says, you're useless, you failed before, you'll fail again. Why even try? So this voice always judges, criticizes, sabotages. So now, which voice do you think wins most of the time, Kapilji?
Wow.
Uh,
Wow.
the problem isn't your willpower. The problem isn't your knowledge. Actually, the problem is you have three people inside you pulling you in three different directions. So here's what I realized is all three of these voices show up clearly in any person's handwriting. So I can literally see which voice is dominating in your life just by having a look at your simple script that you write. So when I started combining graphotherapy with health coaching, everything changed. So because now we're not just creating meal plans or workout schedules, we're actually addressing the internal conflict that is sabotaging you all along. So think about it, your inner child is running the show, for example. So it will keep self sabotaging. If your critical parent is running the show, then if it's dominating, you will be paralyzed by fear of failure. So if we can strengthen your adult self through graphotherapy, if we can actually rewire these patterns, then suddenly sticking to your health goals become a natural way of life actually. So this is what holistic wellness really means. It's not just working on your body, it's working on the internal dynamics that controls your choices. So when someone comes to me now, we start with their handwriting. We identify which patterns are keeping them stuck. And through targeted graphotherapy practices combined with the proper nutrition and fitness guidance, we create a transformation from the inside out. So we need to address the root. That is the very simple truth. And that's exactly what this integrated approach does. So we heal patterns and we strengthen the right voice, creating an alignment between what you know you should do and what you actually do. So that's when the lasting change happens, Kapilji.
Wow. So till now I thought I was one, and after listening to Gayatri ji, I feel I'm three in one. Right? Okay. Super cool. And Natasha ji, because Natasha ji, you also work in the health, So do you have any of your views on this? What do you do, or how do you see to this?
Yes, definitely, Kapilji. I am myself a cancer survivor. So I would like to tell you that, मतलब इतनी मोडालिटीज ट्राई करी, इतना कुछ ट्राई किया, जैसे वर्षा जी ने कहा ना कि इतनी सारी मोडालिटीज ट्राई करने के बाद भी पेन की पावर वाज समथिंग. सो द सेम हैपेंड विद मी. इतना कुछ करा, बट आफ्टर दिस ग्राफोथेरेपी माय पेन्स गॉट अवे. बिकॉज कीमो के बाद ना जो आफ्टर इफेक्ट्स होते हैं वो बहुत ज्यादा होते हैं.
Right,
ठीक है,
right.
आई एग्री कि मैं ठीक हो गई, मैं कैंसर से फ्री हो गई थी बिफोर ज्वाइनिंग ग्राफोथेरेपी, बट साइड इफेक्ट्स बहुत ज्यादा थे. तो वो जो साइड इफेक्ट्स थे ना, दे वो लाइक कि हर रोज एक न्यूमिलेट खाओ, हर रोज कोई ना कोई पेन किलर खाओ, बिकॉज आई हैड लॉट ऑफ पेन्स इन माय बॉडी. एंड टू टेल समवन, अगर मैं किसी को भी कहती कि जैसे ऐसे हो रहा है, तो अगला क्या कहेगा? वो यही कहता था कि इट्स ओके यार, मुझे भी हो रहा है, तू तो फिर भी कैंसर सर्वाइवर है. तो दैट वाज दी मतलब मेन गॉसिप, या कह लो जो लोगों की एक भाषा होती है ना, कि ठीक है हो रहा है तुम्हारे साथ तो it's okay, it's not a big deal, but I was not ready to accept it. Somewhere there graphotherapy comes into my life, and then I saw that after around 60 days of graphotherapy my pains got away, and that was a
Wow.
big achievement for me. So somewhere after this, मतलब जितने भी मुझे लोग मिलते थे ना, कुछ ऐसा ही होता है यूनिवर्स में, कहते हैं कि हम जैसे होते हैं ना हमें लोग भी वैसे ही मिलते हैं. इट इज ऑलवेज सेड लाइक
Right.
दैट. तो मुझे भी वैसे ही लोग ज्यादा मिले जिनको हेल्थ इश्यूज ज्यादा आते थे, स्पेशली
Mhm.
लेडीज. फॉर जैसे मैं आपको आज ही, बल्कि मैं सोच रही थी ये बताने का ग्रुप में, तो जैसे मेरे मम्मा हैं तो शी इज लाइक ऑब्वियसली ओल्ड हैं, तो उनको बहुत सारी ऐसे पेन्स की प्रॉब्लम रहती थी, खिजे रहते थे वो भी, एंड कुछ पता नहीं था क्या प्रॉब्लम है. तो उनका अब मैं देखती हूँ ना हैंड राइटिंग में डिफरेंस, आफ्टर लाइक शी हैज कंप्लीटेड नियरली 6-7 months with me, she has come so calmed, she has become so calmed. Means अगर हर बंदे में आई एम सीइंग लॉट ऑफ चेंजेस, स्पेशली इन द इश्यूज ऑफ दिस ना, कि हमारा जो एंजाइटी है वो कम हो जाता है विद ग्राफोथेरेपी, और हमारा
Mhm.
जो ये लिसनिंग पावर है दैट इंक्रीजेस. And similarly, it has happened with me, and I am seeing the same things in my clients.
Mhm. Right. Right. Thank you for showing that. And it's wonderful to see you that you're cancer free now, and graphology is helping you. Now,
Definitely,
moving
definitely.
on to a related question to Varshaji, that you often say that our health and relationships reflect the connection we have with ourselves, right? So, can handwriting therapy actually bring visible improvements in these areas? One, you can say testimonial we have of Natasha ji, but what is your experience?
Thank you, Kapilji. Yes, definitely. See, we all, we cannot avoid emotions. Emotions are part of our life. Every day we experience tons of emotions, and we cannot even, stop our thoughts. So, thoughts and emotions, feelings, these all keep changing throughout the day, even at night also. So, my experience is that, emotions, when are not released properly, when are not released, in a positive way, it can affect your health and definitely your relationships. So graphotherapy is, such a tool that enables me, and there are hundreds of women I worked with, and they have helped them. This tool has helped them, express themselves more, which has improved their health, their relationship with their families, with their kids, with their spouse, to an amazing level. I would like to share an experience. There was one lady who was, branch manager at a bank, and when we see from outside, everything was just, super perfect. But during her handwriting analysis, lots of things came out. She was going through lots of guilt, and she was suppressing that guilt, which was, affecting her health a lot. She was going through UTI and many other things, but she was not able to tell all these things to anyone. But her handwriting analysis showed that. And after 120 days of writing this graphotherapy, her relationship with her own self changed completely. Now she was free of these infections and all. And
Wow.
I just wanted to share that during this period, she caught her husband being cheated on her, and she was able to handle that situation so beautifully, so calmly, with this amazing power of graphotherapy. And now she has a beautiful relationship with her husband, and definitely with her kids, and she is excelling at
Wow.
professional level also. So there
Beautiful.
are many ladies, I would say, like that, but
Mm.
all are suppressing something or other, because when we are at when we are working, some kind of guilt is always there within us, like we're not giving enough time to our family or some kids, and these emotions are very deep rooted, very suppressed, that we are not even aware of these emotions. But with this graphotherapy, that consciousness came, and this amazing now biohack has come a part of graphotherapy. So with that biohack sessions also, she was able to release these emotions, and that was beautiful.
Now, I want to say something which is actually like my story, right? I'm one person who never loved exercising, right? I just hated it. And now, like the winters are here, so it's nice to sleep. And it's a cozy bed. Money नहीं करता उठने का. So I want to ask Gayatri ji because she works in the fitness field that though thanks to graphotherapy I've become more consistent. I go for regular walks now. But yes, I am not that person like who hits the gym every morning, right? So why do you think people start workout plans on Monday and quit by Friday? So it's more like me, I would say, making every year a New Year resolution that I'll get fitter, and then by the 5th of January, I'll just forget about it. So, what does their handwriting tell you?
That's such a relatable and important question, Kapilji. Thank you. Everybody wants to know about this these days, actually.
Yes.
It's an interesting question, which I actually, when I pondered, only after graphotherapy, I came to an understanding. So, like, as you said, like, many of us, like here, if I may ask you, how many of us have started this health journey on January 1st with the big New Year's resolution, gym membership bought, new workout clothes purchased, meal prep containers ready? You're all in, right? All of us, right? So, how many of us quit within 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, including me? I was the same actually. So, even before my fitness journey, I was like that. So, let's be honest, this is us. All of us are there. So, you know what's fascinating, Kapilji, when someone tells me, Gayatri, I don't understand. I was so motivated. I had such strong willpower, but I just couldn't stick to it. So, I tell them, show me your handwriting. These days, what I do, literally, show me your handwriting. I ask them to write
Okay.
that paragraph. So let me see what's really going on inside. Because here's the truth, your handwriting talks to me more than you do, is what I tell them. Every single stroke, every pattern, every movement of the hand is telling me a story about why you quit. So let me break this down. So the four most important patterns I see in a person's handwriting is, as I said earlier, Kapilji, number one is physical frustration. So there's a pattern in the handwriting that shows me when someone is physically frustrated, when something in your life is not actually going the way you want it to be. Maybe it's your health, maybe it's your relationship, maybe it's your career, or but something is draining your energy constantly. And this physical frustration is shown on paper. I can see it, I can feel it in how you write. And now here's what happens is, you think of starting a gym routine will fix this frustration, but you think losing weight will solve this. You think the frustration isn't about your body, it's a pattern in your nervous system. It's how you've been operating for years now. So you start, as you said, as you start Monday with enthusiasm, but by Wednesday or Friday, even you can call it, that same physical frustration kicks in. This is, people always like say, this is too hard, this is not working fast enough, I'm tired, and they quit. I've seen people doing this pattern. So even before I came to graphotherapy, I didn't know how to solve this issue actually. So it's like filling in a leaking bucket. There's no point in filling yourself with all the gym routines until you fix the leakage of physical frustration. Number two, I see is uh, you're a person who needs temporary challenges. So your handwriting shows me this clearly. I'm sure all of us will understand how a person who has temporary challenges writes there. So they get excited by new things, new challenges, new beginnings. That's why you love the Mondays, and that's why you love January 1st, because it's new. So, but the moment the newness wears off, the moment it becomes routine, you're done. So you're bored, you're looking for the next challenge. So you don't want it as a lifestyle. You want a challenge that has an end date. You want to complete something and move on. So you do a 21-day challenge, you finish it. You feel accomplished and then you stop because the challenges are over. And now you go for some other temporary challenge somewhere else. So they stop going to this gym, they take up some other plan, some other program. So the handwriting tells me that. And the next third one is enthusiasm without persistence. So this is a very painful thing to see. Your handwriting shows me massive enthusiasm, big energy, excitement. You start things with so much fire, but there's no persistence. There's no staying power. There's no, I'll keep going even when it's hard. So all of us have been there. So enthusiasm, as you said, gets to Monday, and persistence gets you to 6 months. And your handwriting is showing me you have enthusiasm, but you're missing persistence. Of course, you quit because enthusiasm is an emotion, and emotions don't last. They fluctuate, they fade. And when your enthusiasm fades, you have nothing else to carry you forward. The last one is crucial, which is the desire for physical activity. Some people's handwriting show me they naturally have high energy, high vitality, high desire for movement. And these people, they stick to fitness naturally. They come and they stick and they are there. But some people, it is showing me low desire for physical activity, and your body doesn't naturally crave for movement actually. So these people, they stick to fitness, they don't stick to fitness naturally. So these are the four things that I see. Now here's what I want you to understand is everything your body does, as everyone has already spoken about it, your brain is controlling it. So we agree to that. So that's why, like, though we call it handwriting, it's technically, scientifically, it's the mind which is writing. So the entire blueprint of how they operate, what are the limiting beliefs, is what I can see in a person's handwriting. And through the reverse engineering, if you can call it, when you flip it, when you control the hand, like when your mind controls your hand when you write, what happens when you consciously change how you write? So you're sending different signals back to your brain. You're doing the reverse process. And these are some of the patterns I see in people who are quitters, Kapilji. So
Wow.
that's what I see in them.
So, if I may ask all of you who has become consistent in taking care of their health after learning graphology? Yeah, I'm still not 100%, but yes, I've started doing it now. I'm more conscious about it. But yes, but it's really getting so, fascinating that the idea that our strokes can even impact our body and, of course, relationships. But now let's go further deep into this and talk about confidence, communication, and, of course, personal growth. Now, these are the areas where handwriting becomes a real superpower. So, going back to Jayaji, his signature design is such a powerful space, and you work in that. So, how does changing one's signature, because signature is also nothing but a group of characters only, and it's all about handwriting. So, how does that affect their energy, confidence, or even success in real life?
Kapilji, that's the favorite area of my interest because signature development and signature analysis is my personal passion. Because when I completed my master's and got certified as a master practitioner, and when I learned about signature, how it can, make such a big difference in your life, because like we know, and like Gayatri ji mentioned it so beautifully in her conversation about how people, they will begin their journey and how they will find the ways to, get out of that beautiful journey. Many a times we have seen clients who are like, ready to pay, they will begin the journey, but because, हाँ करते हैं हो जाएगा, the word of the day, I would say probably procrastination, which everybody has been talking about, that suddenly comes up until the time we make the client realize they have to come back. But with signature, it's such a beautiful thing because my our guru and our mentor, who's the common person that we have, he has taught a beautiful thing to us about how signature, your own name, carries so much power. Because when we were given our name during our childhood, our parents didn't just wake up in the morning and they gave us the name, अच्छा आज इसको हम ये नाम से पुकार लेंगे. No, the name given to us was after a lot of research. अगर research नहीं भी किया था तो भी there is lot of love, there is lot of blessings, there is lot of you know, sort of not expectations, but that's the way our parents had been seeing us. So I believe the way we design the signature definitely helps you to amplify the power that you already have. एक तो हमारे पेरेंट्स ने हमें एक पावर दे दी. अब अगर उस पावर को हम एम्पलीफाई करें विद अ परफेक्ट सिग्नेचर, that is the way you can develop yourself in major aspects of life, which is health, relationship, career, money, success, all across, by writing your first name and your last name. But you shouldn't directly practice your first name and the last name. You should first begin by getting the relationship with your own name better. क्योंकि बहुत बार हम हमारे नाम को पसंद नहीं करते हैं. बहुत सारे लोगों को लगता है यार ये नाम क्यों दे दिया मुझे, ये तो दिस इज नॉट द नेम आई वांटेड. But if you go ahead and amalgamate your energy with the name that with the energy that your parents have given, it just amplifies your further growth. So usually the strokes that you would develop is develop your name. आप अपना नाम लीजिए, उसके साथ में एक पावरफुल स्टेटमेंट या यहाँ एक पावरफुल वर्ड जो आपको लगता है आपके पर्सनालिटी के लिए सूटेबल है, वो आप probably you can start reciting. Like it can be anything, it can be abundance, it can be love, it can be whatever aspect that you would want to break that pattern in your life. So the way I design the signature is बहुत सिंपल रखना है हमें लाइफ में. कॉम्प्लिकेशंस ऐसे ही बाहर से मिल रहे हैं. हमें ये जब थेरेपी दी है तब हमें इससे अपनी जिंदगी को बहुत सिंपल तरीके से आगे बढ़ाना है. Just I develop the name of the person with the originality of the letters that we have learned. Keep the first alphabet as big as possible and it takes the maximum place on your paper. Put the name, and for initial 7 days or 11 days, practice the first initial of your last name. And जैसे जैसे वो relationship बढ़ना शुरू हो जाएगा, you will start seeing the changes. Then we develop the signature by putting their first name, giving them the last name, going 45 degrees and all the other technicalities. But पहले आप अपने आप से रिश्ता बनाइए अपना through the signature. And hence that's the beautiful science that I love, because that not only helps in relationships, Kapil ji, I have seen people build up very good communication skills as well. And to an extent, I would say, kahin na kahin, everybody talks about the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. The third mind is the unconscious mind, which occupies some space inside it जिसको हमने कभी touch नहीं किया है. But signature somewhere has gone ahead and touched that unconscious mind जहाँ पर सब कुछ अंदर छुपा हुआ है. और एक वो होते हैं ना, नाम पुकार दिया and you will be like, अरे ये तो किस, मतलब मुझे बुलाया क्या? So that's the unconscious mind, and that's where signature वहां तक जाकर काम करता है.
Right, right. And as we all know that our mentor, that's a common thread which ties
Yes.
each one of us, because we have a common mentor, Imran sir, right? And he has given us a beautiful community where all of us interact, and that we all of us have facilitators, and now we are also facilitators for others. So I was talking to my facilitator, Mr. Naveen sir, right? I fondly call him Naveen sir. So even he told me that when he changed his signature and he practiced it for like 3 months and he got a promotion, right? So according to him, that was one different thing he was doing, and that worked for him. So I totally agree with you ki yes, having the right signature works wonders with us. And yes, it can uh, impact us in any way, right? I always tell that it is for the universe to decide what change will come in us, like pehli baar jo aayega, right? So let us not target it, but yes, it decides for us. So that's really powerful, I would say, segment of graphology. And thanks to Imran sir for teaching all of us this science. So, really, indeed, blessed to have him as the mentor. And now, uh, going towards Natasha ji, she has worked with students, parents, and professionals. Now, what's one common insight you have found across all that something handwriting reveals about the human growth?
ओके, टू स्टार्ट विद कपिल जी, सबसे पहले तो मैं इतने लोगों की जिनकी हैंड राइटिंग एनालाइज करती हूँ, चाहे वो बच्चे हों, चाहे वो बड़े हों, चाहे वो लेडीज हों, और मतलब जेंडर नहीं, मतलब कुछ भी हो, लोगों को अपने बारे में पता ही नहीं होता what kind of strengths they have. And you know, when we tell them कि आप इतना, मतलब हमेशा हम अपने आप को जज करते हैं कि मैं तो अच्छी हो ही नहीं सकती, जैसे कहते हैं ना कि अगर मेरे में कोई गुण है तो वो हो ही नहीं सकता. इफ आई हैव सीन सो मेनी पीपल, दे से कि नहीं नहीं मैं तो सुनती नहीं हूँ, आपने मतलब इतने अच्छे अच्छे पैटर्न्स होते हैं, एंड बट दे डोंट रियलाइज दैट. एंड दैट इज द मतलब मेन थिंग विच गोज विथ ऑल द एज ग्रुप्स. एंड हम उनको जब थोड़ा सा भी इनलाइटन कि आप अपना ये लेटर्स चेंज करो, जैसे आई टोल्ड यू इनिशियली ऑल्सो that I started working on T and Y, which are my favorites. And I feel if they change, everything around you start changing. तो जब वो change करते हैं ना, they feel lot of changes and they really grow into a different space. वही same चीज आ जाती है.
Right, right, right. बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल.
बिकॉज यू नो, जब
And
कॉन्फिडेंस
mm,
बढ़ेगा ग्राफोथेरेपी से ना कहीं हमारा कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ता है. जब
right,
कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ेगा, सुनने की शक्ति बढ़ेगी एंड कामनेस आएगी अंदर, तो लाइफ में चेंज तो होना ही है ना. तो वो होता
right,
ही है, बस
right,
दैट इज
right,
ऑल.
right. And now moving on to Khyati ji, because she has been working with so many clients. So, what's one breakthrough story that truly shows how graphotherapy creates emotional balance or, let's say, self awareness? We would love to hear you out on that.
And the story that I would like to share today is very close to my heart, and that was really powerful for me as well. I mean, I believed in graphotherapy. I surrendered to the science, but there are certain things that you feel not sure. You're not 100% sure if this will work or not. But when it works on those things as well, then you see that other people can surrender to this science as well, right? And it's about one of my patients, my first client, who was a Parkinson's patient, and he started this journey. His growth has been tremendous since then, and he's on that journey for months now. And Parkinson's, for people who don't know about it, it's neurons. We have been talking about neuroplasticity. Neurons are there, connections are there, neural pathways are there. So those neural pathways and those neurons are very low in number in Parkinson's patient, and because of that their movement is very slow. So if I'm moving my hands like this, they won't be able to move like this, right? For them, eating is a big challenge. They won't be able to eat that well. So this client of mine was facing a lot of issues with routine life, right? Taking bath was a big challenge. So things that are very easy for us are really difficult for them. So moving from one room to another room is a challenge for them. So when he took up this, and he could surrender to the science, he started his journey. His writing was barely readable. I was not able to read much in his handwriting, but I suggested some strokes there. And S is something that I love for Parkinson's patient, and we could see tremendous change in his speech as well. Now people started acknowledging that your speech is much clearer now. Even when we are speaking to you on phone, we can clearly understand whatever you are saying. So that was a big thing.
Wow.
And it was not a relief for him only, for people around him. He is able to communicate in a very better way now. And his wife, who is also around 70 years, so that client is around 75, and his
Mhm.
wife is around 70. So she's also struggling with a lot of things, because if you have one patient at home, then if you are taking care of him or her, then you are suffering as well. And there is so much calmness in her now, and she says that earlier I used to ask him to do something for multiple times, he won't do it. But now, even if एक या दो बारी मैं बोल देती हूँ, he does things. So it's a big relief for me as well, and the whole family. His relationships are so better. He has his grandchildren. Relationship with them is so much better. They tell stories that he is someone who won't uh, मतलब गोद में लेते ही नहीं थे बच्चों को, and now he asked his grandchildren to come and sit on his lap. So that's the
Wow.
change. I mean, mindset पे ऐसा change कि relationships इतने beautiful हो जाते हैं. He's taking charge of his own life. That is very important,
Wow.
because Parkinson's is something, it's neuro degenerative, right? So it's not his
Mhm.
in his control. But through that simple pen and paper, through graphotherapy, he could see and do so many things for him, for himself, and for his family as well. So that is really, really amazing. And I feel blessed that I could be that channel, and we could do it together. And his lifestyle, his the way he's leading his life is much better now. So yeah, thanks to graphotherapy and thanks to Imran sir that we could learn it and offer it to other people and bring difference to their lives.
Yeah, so true, so true. So beautiful, beautiful insights. And it's actually amazing how handwriting mirrors every layer of our being.
Absolutely.
So now talk about the direction, because how it shapes clarity and career choices. And of course, being a career coach myself, just from my own experience, I've seen how graphology helps students and professionals, rediscover clarity and confidence. And many a times, when even working professionals, when they approach me, and obviously they are qualified but not getting success in their respective fields. And when I analyze their handwriting, each one of you will agree that having a degree is not a guarantee of success, right? We need to have certain personality traits. And when they are missing, for example, if somebody is not able to communicate, if somebody is not able to observe the intrinsic details of his job, the person will not be successful. But thanks to graphology, that when I use this tool, in fact developing those traits in those people, and then they see growth in their field. And that's why I see, I'm fascinated with this science as in when I practice this. So I would actually love to hear your views also. How do you see handwriting influencing decision making or direction in one's life? So I'm sure each one of you can please be a one liner or two sentence. What do you have to share? Yeah, please, Khyati ji, go ahead.
So I would like to give example of one of my clients. So she was suffering at workplace a lot, and she was someone who was working a lot, but then also the seniors were not able to see it. वो कह रहे थे आपके पास काम ही क्या है, and she was burdened with work, but she was not acknowledged for it. And after graphotherapy, 60 days of graphotherapy, she took a lot of decisions for herself at workplace, and she got her project also changed, and now she was doing work that she wanted to do. And I mean, it was just a mindset change, right? She just got the things changed for herself. Situation was the same, but she could take decision which were in her favor. So that's the power
Wonderful.
of graphotherapy.
Hmm. Right. Yeah. Anybody? Yeah, Jaya ji, please.
So, Kapilji, I would say, how does one get the power of decision making with graphotherapy? Rightly mentioned by Khyati ji that you know how to take the decisions, but at times, uh, and everybody spoke about self esteem. हमारा जो सेल्फ एस्टीम है, हमारा जो इनर वॉइस है, जैसे गायत्री जी ने बताया कि दोज थ्री वॉइसेस प्रोबेबली 3 हमने शायद रिकॉग्नाइज किए हैं, और भी होते होंगे। जो ये आवाजें हैं, जो एक इंटरनल शोर है, और आजू बाजू का शोर तो डेफिनेटली हम स्टॉप नहीं कर सकते हैं। वो हमारे डिसीजन को कहीं ना कहीं डेफिनेटली बहुत ज्यादा इम्पैक्ट करता है। एंड इन दैट व्हाट हैपेंस इज either we will end up having stressful relationships, not only at workplace but also in personal life. We will have you would want to get away out of a conversation that yaar mujhe nahi, I don't want to talk into this topic, but just out of the fear of judgment, that if I don't speak, people will judge me, कि या तो इसको पता नहीं है, he or she is outdated. उस चक्कर में हमारा डिसीजन मेकिंग, सबसे बड़ा एग्जांपल, लाइक बेसिक एग्जांपल, जोमैटो पर हमें खाना ऑर्डर करना है, दाल खिचड़ी भी अगर ऑर्डर करनी हो ना, हम दाल खिचड़ी सर्च करके डालेंगे, हम ये नहीं करेंगे कि ओके मुझे XYZ स्टोर से तड़का दाल खिचड़ी खानी है। आई विल पुट इन द सर्च दाल खिचड़ी, एंड देन आई विल सी 10, अच्छा
Right.
इसको रेटिंग कितनी है। Dal khichdi is going to be the same, right? So just imagine how much pressure we are putting on our brains to take one decision. And imagine अगर हम Zomato के लिए इतना टाइम लेते हैं डिसीजन लेने, तो हमारे पर्सनल और प्रोफेशनल लाइफ में क्या करते होंगे। सो आई विल जस्ट शेयर अ वेरी शॉर्ट स्टोरी of a person that I met. And this person, she wanted to get out of her workplace. She didn't wanted to continue, because just she was just feeling कि यार मतलब मैं इतना कुछ कर रही हूँ अपने आप को प्रूव करने के लिए, but somewhere in spite of giving my 100%, which she was feeling is 200%, let's give it that, she would have been giving her 100%. She felt that she was not getting the recognition that she wanted, and she wanted to move out of that professional relationship. And because of that, she was facing the personal relationship issues also. Thanks to graphotherapy, working with graphotherapy for almost, I would say, 30 days first, which is the initial coaching program that we offer. And then we go to the next program, which is health program, which is for 90 days, which Kathy ji beautifully explained, how do we work on different things in life. In that, when she completed the first journey, she said, now I have the clarity what I want to do. But still, she wanted to give it a second thought. She continued the journey, and then she decided, okay, I think it's done for me. I don't want to take any more pressure of deciding this or that, and I will choose what my that little inner voice, जिसको हम बोलते हैं ना, जो छोटी आवाज होती है हम उसको दबा देते हैं, और जो शोर करने वाली आवाज होती है, नहीं नहीं करो करो, ये करना है वो करना है, वो छोटी सी आवाज की बात सुनूंगी, अब मैं ये काम नहीं करूंगी, and I will do what I want to like. So that's what, how graphotherapy, and with certain strokes and alphabet practice, it can just give you clarity and help you take decisions.
Yeah, wow, wow, that's really, really interesting. And as we wrap up, today, let's leave our audience with something actionable. One simple takeaway they can start with. So, Varshaji, if I may ask you, what advice would you give to women who feel lost or disconnected and are hearing about graphology for the first time?
So, for all the audience who has come so far till this end, just as a gift we all want to give you, you can just practice this and share in comments how this has helped you. Just see T. We all know the letter T, small letter. So it has two parts. One is T stem, and then there is T bar. So this letter T can reveal 25 personality traits about you. But here is the gift which you can try and let us know how does it work for you. This bar, you just need to raise this T bar to the top of the stem. You might be putting it at the lower end or middle end or at the midpoint, but you need to put this T bar at the top of the vertical line, the stem of the T, and let us know how it will work for you. I'm 100% sure you are going to generate lots of results just by changing this, upgrading this T bar in this letter of yours. Thank
And
you
make
so
it
much.
balanced also, right?
Yes.
And put it on the top and
And keep
balanced,
adding
right?
that.
Yes, yeah. And Gayatri ji, What's one simple handwriting practice our listeners can try daily to build calmness or holistic wellness?
Thank you for asking, Kapilji. I always love sharing simple but soulful practices. One practice I recommend is a blend of intention, grounding, and self connection. So I'll share something which I follow every day. I have a set morning ritual which I owe it to Imran sir. Like when after he spoke about the ritual thing, I've started religiously following it. So I have a simple prayer. I get on to my fitness sessions where we focus on both the mind and body. And then I get into my graphotherapy practice for the day with the right intention. So, what I would suggest as a simple practice to begin with for everyone who's watching this would to practice their names or signature in full, like as Jayaji mentioned, like no scribbled ones, just a clear written signature or their names in bold with no fancy curves or strokes. So now you might be thinking, Gayatri, why is this so important? It's just writing. So here's why. The moment we wake up, we carry emotions from yesterday, like maybe stress, maybe anxiety, maybe worry, whatever it might be. So it's what, like, that is the state when scientists call it the alpha state. So the most receptive, most programmable state, your brain will be there in all day. So whatever you create in that moment, whatever you write, whatever you focus on, it sets the tone for the entire day that follows, Kapilji. I'm sure all of us here would agree with that because we've been consistently practicing graphotherapy. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to start tomorrow morning, not next week, not when you feel ready. Tomorrow, start making a clear, simple signature, maybe 11 times, 21 times, how much ever times you feel comfortable. Practice number 2 would be gratitude writing, which I do follow, but write it with your name. Just don't write, I'm grateful for my family, nothing like that. Instead, write, Gayatri, I'm so grateful you have people who love you unconditionally. So, why use the name? Because when you write your name, you're speaking directly to your subconscious. So, you're not just listing things, you're not making a to do
Wow.
list. So, you're experiencing gratitude while your hand moves across the paper. You're programming yourself in the alpha state. So, and practice number 3, like you can write the intentions for the day. Write one powerful statement, what you want to become for that day, what you want to do for the day. Not just I will try or something like that. I am disciplined in my choices today in the present tense. So with conviction, with that feeling. Now here's the key, most important thing which people miss is you have to write slowly and consciously. So feel the pen in your hand, notice your emotional state, stabilize it, right as we have it in our graphotherapy practices, like with the right, with the best of intention. So that is what is all about. And let me tell you something, like these aren't complicated practices, very simple practices, which, but the challenge is you have to do it for 21 days. So 5 to 10 minutes, 21 days, not just 20 days also will not do, because that's how long it takes to start forming a new neural
Right.
pathway. Thank you, Kapilji. So
Yeah,
it's
wow,
been
wow.
making
It's
amazing
really
changes in my clients, my fitness clients who are there. We've been doing this consistently and it's creating amazing results for them.
interesting. Interesting. It's really just listening to you, it seems so powerful. I'm sure the listeners would definitely want to try it out to experience graphology in their lives. And Natasha ji, as you say, graphotherapy grows in awareness, you know. So how do you see it evolving as a mainstream personal growth tool in the coming years? What do you want to add to this?
कपिल जी, मुझे ऐसा लगता है ग्राफोथेरेपी जो है ना, वो हमारी स्ट्रेस मैनेजमेंट करती है, हमारे को पावर देती है। और जब स्ट्रेस भी मैनेज हो गया और पावर आ गई, तो अब और चाहिए ही क्या लाइफ में? आप बताओ। तो हमें ये दोनों चीजें मिलेंगी एंड आई एम फॉर श्योर, मतलब आई एम सच काइंड ऑफ पर्सन, मैं बड़ी सिंपल बात करती हूँ, मैं ज्यादा घुमा फिरा के नहीं बोलती हूँ, बट ऐसी चीज है ग्राफोथेरेपी जो आप करके देखो, मतलब बातों से मत समझो, जस्ट ट्राई इट। because I have seen so many of my clients just saying कि यार 5 minutes किया and seriously change आ गया. They don't even believe कि इस book से ये change आ गया मेरे अंदर. When I say
Right.
ना कि ऐसे होता है तो दे से कि इस तरह से हो गया. मैंने कहा फिर आप बताओ और कैसे हुआ? पहले तो कभी नहीं हुआ था.
Right.
So that is
Right,
the part
right.
of psychotherapy.
Okay. So that's actually such an empowering note to end on. So I would say it, the conversation was interesting. I was loving every bit of it, and ye dil mange more. But yes, we have this restriction for time. So thank you all for joining me today on the Graphotherapy podcast. Right. So thank you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you. And what a beautiful exchange of energy, wisdom, and experience. Each of our experts today reminded us that handwriting is not just about how we write, it's about how or who we are becoming as we write. Whether it's emotional healing, mental balance, or better communication, self care, or even holistic wellness. So, graphotherapy or graphology, we call it, gives us mirror to our inner world and pen to reshape it. So, to everyone listening, to everyone watching, if this conversation touched you, take the first step. Pick up a pen, observe your strokes, and maybe start rewriting the story your handwriting has been silently telling. And to experience the power of graphology for yourself, connect with any of our experts. I definitely will be sharing the individual links in the description of this podcast. And if you like a personal clarity consultation with me, yes, you'll find the link there too. And remember, change your strokes and change your story. Thank you. Thank you.